How's it going, traders? Hope everybody is doing well. What do you guys think is going to happen on the dollar here? Do you think this is a fake out or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want a forecast on any market of your choice, consider joining the Patreon YouTube membership. All right, starting things off with the call report for the US dollar index. The past week, the banks got rid of 1.3 thousand longs, and they also got rid of 1.1 thousand shorts. And as far as the US dollar goes here, looking at the weekly chart here, we have double bottomed out right at this weekly area of demand that we've had on our charts for quite a while now. And as you can see on the dollar, we just had a pretty nice push up, pretty bullish green candle in my opinion, and that is coming off of that weekly area of demand. Now, if you want, let's go down to a lower time frame. I know the daily chart is not a super low time frame, but this is showing more of detail in those candles. So as you can see, we have our daily supply here. We have reacted twice off that daily supply. Now we are pushing in deeper off this daily supply. Not only that, we are also in the process of breaking this downward trend line. Now I'm going to need a candle to close up here, something like that, for me to be able to draw demand down here, which is a demand zone that I would be interested in potentially buying. So that's what I need to see take place on this daily chart in order for me to be bullish on the DXY. So until we can remove this daily supply and this downward trend line by having a candle close above here, I am not bullish on the US dollar. I mean, I am semi-bullish, I guess, because you cannot deny the strength of these two moves away, and there's pretty good basing here, but we need evidence and proof that there is demand here by this candle here and by removing supply in the downward trend line. As soon as that takes place, I'll be bullish to the DXY and be waiting for pullbacks to potentially buy. So with that being said, that is the analysis for the DXY, and let's head on over to the Euro US dollar. On to the Euro US dollar forecast. The past week, the banks added 13,000 longs and they also added 7.5 thousand shorts. Looking at the weekly chart here, the overall momentum is up, coming off of weekly demand as well. But as you can see, the size of this red candle, just a very bullish move down. So let's go down and see what's going on the daily time frame. Obviously, it's just the opposite of the DXY, where we're actually inside of a daily demand zone here in the euro. It's definitely possible, we do push up from this demand, but I wouldn't count on it, especially since we're right around this trend line. And like I said, basically the opposite of the dollar. If we can get that candle close here, removing this demand and this upward trend line, that would be a bearish case for the euro, and we would actually have a supply zone here, which I will be drawing for the YouTube Patreon members. And as far as trading it goes now, I personally haven't really seen any setups in the Euro US dollar. We actually now have, it's pretty much a 4-hour downtrend. I have it as a downtrend, as you can see with my red arrow here, and we actually have a 4-hour supply zone here. If we do push up to the supply, this could be an area where you look for a 15-minute confirmation to the downside, and that this supply is located at 1.09. So I would keep an eye on that 4-hour supply zone. If we do push up to that, we could see a move. If we break that supply and push up to 4-hour supply at 1.10, we could see a move off that supply as well. So I would keep an eye out on these two 4-hour supply zones on the 4-hour chart, and maybe wait for those if you are bearish on the Euro US dollar. And as far as looking for longs, what I need to see for longs is this. So if you can remove this supply, and if we're left with 4-hour demand, that's clean. That would be your 4-hour demand trade, but that's obviously for another day. All right, on to the forecast for gold. The past week, the banks added 4,000 longs, and they also added 3.8 thousand shorts. Now, looking at the weekly chart here of gold, gold has definitely been a very tricky one to trade. I'm usually pretty accurate with gold, as I called out this move and this move from previous forecasts. You can go back and look. So I've been pretty accurate with gold, but I'm not going to lie, it's been very difficult. That's why I have not been trading gold, because as you can see here, we're kind of just stair-stepping up like this. It's very difficult to see what's going to take place. It's definitely possible we do pull back to 1870 to weekly demand and then push up, but who knows? This basing could just be the large players just fueling up to push up to even more all-time highs on gold. So it's definitely difficult. If you've been losing out on trades on gold and you've been losing, I wouldn't sweat it. It's definitely been difficult. Even on the daily chart here, you can see, we had daily demand down here. If we push down to it, yeah, we could look for trades in that, but the problem is daily demand is very tested. So I like to trade at fresh zones, kind of like this. So I'd be more interested in that area, or that weekly demand at 1870. And as far as more intraday trading goes on gold, we kind of already had the trade as you can see on this 4-hour chart here, we had a beautiful reaction off of my 4-hour supply zone here, and this is actually a supply zone that I called out for the YouTube Patreon members that are in the Diamond membership. And if you guys want these daily breakdown videos where I point out potential setups like this, check it out. Links in the description down below for the Diamond membership. I also have lifetime access available as well. I am looking for only serious traders, people who are actually willing to learn and learn how to find setups like this. So check it out. Links in the description down below. I'd be happy to see you guys join the team. So as far as gold goes now, looking at the 4-hour chart, we already reacted off supply. We do have 4-hour demand below. If you just look at it in the sense of, you know, this is high, this is low, you could be looking to potentially scalp down here at this demand using some sort of confirmation entry when we hit the demand zone. That's fine. But since price is so sideways, it's not an area where I would feel comfortable just buying this zone outright and holding because of there's no really trend in place. So gold has been very tricky right now. So if, like I said, guys, if you've been taking losses in the market lately, I wouldn't sweat it. It's definitely very tricky out there. So as far as gold goes now, like I said, supply already happened. We have demand below, so it might be an area where I potentially look for potential longs. But for swing trading, it's definitely gold is definitely not on my watch list for swing trading unless we can pull back to some sort of higher time frame demand on the weekly chart. All right, onto the USDJPY. I'm always most likely going to start on the weekly chart, guys, because I like to do the top-down approach for swing traders as well. Looking at the weekly chart, we have fresh supply above, tested demand down below. We are just in the middle right now. So as far as the weekly chart goes for swing trading, USDJPY is not the best thing to be doing right now, or trading right now, because of the fact that we are kind of just in the middle right now. And we like to trade at the extreme zones to technically and essentially buy low and sell high. Even on the daily chart, another reason is just look at the sideways price action. Yes, we have fresh demand down here that, yeah, you could look for longs in, but this supply is tested. We have fresh supply up above here that is definitely interesting. But as far as trading it goes, I mean, there's no trend here. Yes, momentum is kind of up, but there's really no trend. We haven't broke the high yet in the daily chart. That's why it's difficult to be swing trading. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean you cannot catch any day trades. Just like this day trade here on USD yen, another 1-hour supply zone that I called out for the members in the Diamond membership. I called out this 1-hour supply zone. I said we could definitely see a move down. Now, no, we did not get a huge move down, but these areas are very important to be watching out for. And as far as the 1-hour chart goes, we have 1-hour demand right here at 134.98. That was created by removing this supply. So if we do push down on this 1-hour demand, we definitely could see a move off of it. But there's, like I said, guys, there's really no higher time frame in play that would suggest this is a high odds trading setup. So just wanted to point that out as well. And as far as intraday trading goes as well, like I said, guys, you can always use my zones for confirmation trading. That's why a lot of the people join the membership, so that they can get my daily chart analysis and use my higher time frame zones to go down to lower time frames and refine their entry to trade with the higher time frame demand and supply. So how you would do that on the USD yen here is by, let's say price pulls back to this 4-hour demand, you could wait for that to be hit and look for longs using a confirmation entry. And the same thing goes for this supply up above here. And so if price pushes up to here, you could look for confirmation shorts on day trading timeframes. So as far as the USD Japanese yen goes, that's all I'm really seeing for intraday setups. And as far as swing trading goes, I'm really not loving it because there's no trend on the weekly chart or the daily chart, and there's really no fresh higher time frame demand or supply zones in play. That's why, as a swing trader like myself, I am personally staying away. GBPUSD forecast. Looking at the weekly chart here, momentum is certainly up, but with this that's not super large, but a pretty decent size red candle on the downside, the pound is certainly looking weak. But if we go to a daily chart here, guys, you can see the candles more refined. That's why it's always important to use multiple time frames. You can see we have an overall very nice uptrend on the GBPUSD. I was telling the YouTube Patreon members, you guys could be looking for longs in this daily demand, and you definitely still could. I'm not in love with how deep we've pulled into this demand zone. As you can see, this is the proximal line on the demand. This is the distal line, and as you can see, the distal line right here, we're very close to that line. So it's very close to breaking, but it doesn't mean you still can't look for longs. So looking for longs still in this daily demand with the uptrend is definitely definitely doable. So that's something I would consider, but also I would consider it's looking weak, and we might actually start to base out and push lower on the pound just based on these two large red candles. So as far as the longs go, what is the confirmation you would need? Well, really, in my opinion, there are two potential ways to get confirmation. The most aggressive way would just be on the 1 hour chart here. So if you just look, we have a supply zone at 1.25. Your confirmation would look like this, where we push up, hopefully actually react off the supply to prove that there is supply here. And once we can get it removed, if there's any demand down here, that would be your confirmation trade where you would enter, stop loss, and take profit up here and hopefully hit your take profit. So that's what your 1 hour confirmation would look like here on the pound coming off of that daily area of demand. The more conservative approach would be on the 4 hour chart. If you look, we have a very clean 4 hour supply here at 1.251. If we can get, same idea guys, if we can get this 4 hour supply removed, leaving us with 4 hour demand, that would be your 4 hour confirmation, which is a little bit safer than 1 hour confirmation. So that is what I'm seeing on the GBPUSD. And obviously if we end up breaking this daily demand and pushing to the downside, what that means is that the GBPUSD now is off of my watch list, and I am no longer trading it because clearly, since we lost trend on the daily chart, something is going on with price and we are just pushing down and resetting, and something else is taking place and we need to reset and wait for more higher time frame demand zones to be in play. All right, on to the USDCAD. The past week, the banks got rid of 6,000 longs and they also added 1.7,000 shorts. Looking at the weekly chart here, if you've been following my channel for a while and my forecast for a while now, you guys know I've been talking about this weekly demand for quite a long time. We do have some sort of support here, this purple box. We are currently reacting off of it again. I'm still waiting for this demand to be hit for swing trading opportunities. Obviously, not everybody's just going to wait for that, and they're on a lower time frame. So let's go down to a daily chart and see what is going on. So I pointed out this daily area of demand back here. We also reacted off of it once already. We came in for a second test. So this demand has been tested twice now. So if we do push back to this daily demand, I would expect it to break at that point. I wasn't expecting a large move up in this demand, but I'm pretty sure last week's forecast, I talked about this demand being in play and I said, be careful, we could see a move up. I'm pretty sure I didn't say it was going to be a large move up, but clearly we are seeing some strength in the USDCAD here. And if you just look at the daily chart here, where are we pulling into? Well, first of all, there's no trend. We are going sideways, which makes trading this pair very difficult in my opinion, and it's a time where you should probably be trading with lower risk. But as you can see in the daily chart, we are pulling right into this daily supply at 1.35. We could see what I think is most likely going to happen is something like this, where we maybe react off the supply a little bit, then push up, break this high, pull into this fresh supply at 1.37 and then rally off that supply. That is what I'm hoping takes place because I'm personally not interested in trading at the supply. Like I said, yeah, you could get a small move. So it could be an area where you do look for potential little quick scalps, but not for a large move. I'm more interested in this supply zone here at the extreme because I think this is where we could see a large move down. So that is the daily chart on the USDCAD. So as far as trading it goes now, I'm not, even though I said, yeah, we probably are pulling up to daily demand, which means, hey, we can maybe get in long up to daily demand. The problem with that is we are so close to the daily supply that it's definitely very difficult. I know I said, might have said daily demand there, my bad. But what I'm trying to say is, like I said, yes, we could push up to this daily supply. So yeah, we could be looking for longs. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but if you want to do that, especially since we are so close to the supply, it is risky. If you look here on the 1 hour chart, we have fresh 1 hour demand at 1.35. Could be an area where you look for maybe like a 5-minute, 1-minute day trade coming off that 1 hour area of demand if we do pull back to that. And not only that, we have a 4 hour demand zone as well at 1.35 right here. So if you pull back to there, you could look for confirmation day trades long coming off of that 4 hour area of demand as well. And then obviously profits definitely should be looking to be taken at that daily supply as we approach that supply, or maybe look to bump your stop loss up in case we actually do push up to that purple supply zone on the daily chart. On to the forecast for the Aussie US dollar. The past week, the banks got rid of 11,000 longs and they also got rid of 6.9 thousand shorts. If you've been following me for a while on my forecast, you guys know I've been waiting for this weekly demand to be hit. It's also monthly demand and there's actually a daily demand I'll show you guys in a bit. And you guys can call it what it is. A lot of guys say, oh, I wait too long and I'm too patient. But you guys got to remember, I'm a swing trader. I know my strategy. I know what I'm looking for. I know that all of this here, it's not the highest odds to be trading in here. And I actually want to wait for these zones at the extreme to get in long or short at. And that's why I'm trying to exercise my patience right now in the Aussie US dollar. If you look at the daily chart here, you can clearly see a fresh daily demand zone located at 0.65 as well. So that's the zone I'm looking to potentially get in long at. We've clearly struggled here. We actually have a support level here that I drew. We've struggled to break below it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Coming in for that 5th time now. I'm hoping we actually break below, but clearly history has shown we can't. But maybe the 6 times, 7 times the chart, and we actually will push down and then push up. So that is what I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for as a swing trader on the Aussie US dollar. With that being said, yes, we could push down to 0.65. There's a reason, there's a good enough reason to potentially short down to there if that's what you think is going to take place. That's not how I trade, but it doesn't mean that's not how you can trade. So you can actually trade that way. And if you look in the 4-hour chart, we have fresh 4-hour supply here that was responsible for removing this 4-hour demand. If we do push up to this 4-hour supply, you could look for confirmation shorts on like a 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame. If you look on a 1-hour chart here at 0.66, we do have fresh 1-hour supply at 0.667 here. You could look for shorts off of that. And even at the high here at 0.677, if we happen to get all the way up here, we have fresh 1-hour supply. That's a decent supply zone as well. So you guys can use these zones for potential day trading shorts off of, as I think maybe we are headed down to daily demand at 0.65. Onto the USD Swiss. The past week, the banks added 294 long contracts and they got rid of 1.1 thousand shorts. Looking at the weekly chart, top right screen here, we are basically just at the lows and we are reacting to the upside. So I'm really not too surprised. If you go to a daily chart here, we had daily supply. I was telling the members, you know, yeah, we could be looking for shorts in here and you could get small moves off of it. But after such a big rally in price, I'm really not loving it. And you want to get short at supply zones like this up here where this was involved in some sort of higher time frame supply. I'm not going to get into too deep detail, but these definitely aren't these zones you want to be looking to trade at, because the idea of trading, in my opinion, is you want to hold for as long as possible to increase your reward. So with that being said, that's why I think we are most likely breaking this daily supply and headed up to this daily supply at 0.90. Could be an area where we potentially look for shorts in that fresh supply zone. So I am definitely looking to see this supply broken and to continue to push to the upside. If you want to get in long and trade counter trend here, you can. It's definitely risky, but on the 4-hour chart, I've identified 2 4-hour demand zones here. Not only that, we are also reacting off this supply zone, and it's been proven supply right here. So with that being said, if we remove this supply even further and we're left with more demand here, we will have new demand, and you could look for longs in any one of these demand zones if we continue to push down. And who knows, if we continue to break it, it's fine. It's just a reality of trading. So as far as looking for longs goes now, fresh demand here on the 4-hour chart at 0.893 here. You could look for longs, and then lower at 0.885. You could look for longs on day trading timeframes coming off of these 4-hour areas of demand, as we are looking like we are about to break this downward trend line and supply on the daily chart. All right, onto crude oil. Last but not least, the banks added 14,000 longs and they also added 12,000 shorts. But as you can see, they're still majority long, which on the car report. So that's another reason I am very bullish on oil. As you guys know, we wicked down into weekly demand. I was hoping we were going to have a green week. I actually took a loss on oil this week. So if you look, we had a daily demand zone in control, and I actually got in long. I was hoping we were going to push up to this daily supply, and we couldn't quite get there. Let me break down the trade for you guys. We had a 4-hour confirmation zone right here, and it removed 4-hour supply. I got in long, and as you can see, just what a move up. I was up a lot of money at one point. Didn't quite take profit. I didn't lose the full 1%. I think it was a little bit more than 0.5% I lost on oil here. So as far as trading it goes now, I'm really not loving it. I mean, we do have some 4-hour supply here. If we can get that removed, we could potentially look for longs coming off of the demand that removes that supply if that does take place. We also do have some basing structure with demand down here. We could see moves off that demand, but oil is definitely kind of looking weak right now. Any long trades just haven't been working out in oil. We do have fresh 1-hour demand, 2 1-hour demand zones down here coming off that daily demand. So we have 1-hour demand at 69.75. We could see a move off that demand. And if we actually push down lower to this demand, we could see a move off of that demand as well. So 2 1-hour zones that you could use for potential day trading but if you've been following me for a while and the Diamond members know, I am very bullish long-term on oil, so that's why I'm trying to build a swing trading position, and that's why I'm looking for potential longs in these 1-hour area of demand, and that's why I also got in long at the 4-hour demand, but obviously it didn't work out. But I'm very bullish oil. Just need to keep trying, in my opinion, and waiting for that confirmation to continue to go long. And there's tons of profit margin on the weekly chart, at least up to $88 a barrel. That's also another reason why I'm very interested in getting in long oil. Just for now, we need to wait for some sort of 1 hour confirmation to the upside, or wait for the 1 hour demand zones to be hit, or wait for 4 hour confirmation, or even more daily confirmation by removing daily supply. I hope you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If it did, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as always, check out the YouTube and Patreon membership if you want to get my daily chart analysis and much, much more.